You guys really seemed to like it when I talked about unofficial Sonic spin-offs, so I'm doing it again. And if you haven't seen part 1 yet, you should go check that out in the card. But I know what you guys are really here for.
He's going to destroy the Earth! For the funny!
But you know, we can't just judge Sonic Omens based on the drama. How does it hold up as an actual game? Very, very poorly. That's not to say this game couldn't have been good. The first few levels, Chow Paradise and Route 99, really showed how this game could have been something special. But unfortunately, the later levels replaced the fun reaction-based gameplay with do-or-die platforming, annoying enemy placement, enemy rooms, etc. Another persistent issue is the reuse of level design. This makes levels like United Railroad feel just like the same thing, copy and pasted over and over again in different sections. The controls are well done, but that can't even be credited to the Omens team because they're using the Infinity engine. I can commend the visuals for the most part, but unfortunately in some areas it just looks a little bit plasticky because the effects are overdone. Which especially rings true for the cutscenes, which have good storyboarding for the most part, but the animation really doesn't sell it. And don't even get me started on the terrible pace-breaking Tails levels. What can I say? They're terrible and pace-breaking. The main problem is that the controls just don't fit the type of level design they're going for here. The play needs to control way better for this type of level design to be feasible. The frustration many players felt here is completely justifiable. Well, that's enough talking about bad games. Hey, what's that noise over there? A Big the Cat open world game was not really on my bucket list for this year, but oh well. And another thing I didn't expect was for me to unironically enjoy this more than Sonic Frontiers. The game has interesting movement tech, some pretty good-looking locales for a fan game, especially one of this quality. The fishing was well executed, and in general, this game really surprised me. Big the Cat gains new abilities from each of the Chaos Emeralds he collects, and a lot of these are pretty fun to use in your search for Froggy. This generally makes me wish that Frontiers didn't go for the generic open-world visuals and had something akin more to what Sonic is used to. Overall, Big's Big World gets a big recommend from me. A lot of physics-based games today, and next up on our list is Snulf, an interesting take on a few of the classic Sonic games that turns them into, well, golf. Here you have very little control over Sonic that you can really only use to escape softlocks in a pinch, but for the most part you're controlled by the golf. You get to set the height and length of the swing. And overall, this was a unique way to approach the levels that I'd played so many times before. I had to think about it in a completely different way. Like how I was going to avoid the rising water section and chemical plant. The game even retains that classic Sonic feeling by just damage boosting through every single boss in the game, which does somehow work out. Golf is a very unique, albeit a bit clunky way to experience the classic Sonic games, but I'd recommend you give it a try. A few of the areas like the one on screen right now are a little bit clunky to work around, but you can find creative solutions to pretty much every problem in the game. More balls so soon, eh?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, I'm just playing Sonic Ball, the game where the one and only goal is to go fast. In a similar saturation of fanbase like the Sonic Dreams collection, this game is just pretty much satire, even with the name Sonic Ball based on the meme. But the game itself is a physics-based racing game, the physics being in quotation marks of course. To be honest, to me this game is literally everything I could have expected from the name Sonic Ball. You are a ball, you are a Sonic character, and you're racing in a physics-based racing game. In a way, it's kinda just charming. Reminds me of my earlier internet days. But seriously, we gotta get game theory on this. What the heck is a fast per hour? And I thought Americans had ridiculous measurement systems. The maps are mainly based off of existing properties, whether Sonic levels or Mario levels. They're mostly simple in their design. I think the physics make it fun to just roll around. Makes me wish that Frontiers wasn't so restrictive with its gameplay. Oh, and speaking of Mario, Super Sonic 64 takes a good game, which I know is a foreign concept for us Sonic fans, and puts Sonic in it. I'm just kidding, by the way, I don't actually like Mario 64 that much. But that doesn't change the fact that this is a pretty cool mod that replaces Mario in this game with Sonic, as the title implies. It's cool to see the classic Mario 64 levels and gimmicks adapted to fit Sonic the Hedgehog, and I think the creators did a really good job with this. Especially coming off of Mario 64 and Sonic Generations, this was one of the mods I was most excited to play, and it didn't disappoint. In some areas, I actually enjoyed this more than the original, and it really makes me wish that at some point we get a crossover platformer between the two that's official and not Olympic Games. You know, this gave us probably one of the best water levels in Sonic history. You know, because it's not a Sonic water level. I never really thought these two could work together in a platformer game, but after this, I think it's going to come together quite well. At least on the Sonic side, I have no idea how they're going to make Mario work with Sonic gameplay. Perhaps one of the best things about Sonic Mania was the amount of different playable characters you had. We had Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and then Mighty and Ray joined in the DLC, and then we also had different combinations, and my favorite was always Knuckles and Knuckles. It was a really funny joke by the Mania team, but then some fans decided to take it to the next level and create Knuckles Mania and Knuckles and Knuckles and more Knuckles. I believe that's the official pronunciation, taking nearly every asset and texture in Sonic Mania and turning it into Knuckles. My favorite asset being that they turned Mirage Saloon into Pumpkin Hill from SA2. The visual animation changes make this feel like a fresh new experience for those who are a bit tired of Sonic Mania. Although some of the changes are really weird inside jokes that I don't think a lot of people are going to understand when playing, but overall the changes are pretty good. One thing I enjoyed in particular was the Super Sonic theme. Well, Super Knuckles theme, which is just a mix of fist bump and a variety of Knuckles themes from throughout the years, and it's one of the best things I've ever heard. The OST for this mod is generally phenomenal. I think all the remixes that just involve the Knuckles theme in some way for every single zone are really good, and especially the mini-boss theme, which somehow mixes Persona music and Knuckles themes, of course, but it's still a bop. I'll link the OST playlist down below if anyone wants to check it out. If anything, this just proves that we desperately need another Knuckles game. Or at least give us a new Knuckles theme. It's been a while since he's had a lyrical theme. Same with a lot of characters, actually. And last but not least, I wanted to talk about the mods and fan games people are making for Sonic Riders. Sonic Free Riders has officially been fixed and we're able to now play it on PC and console with full controller support. It's an upgrade on the level of P-06 to Sonic 06, even though Free Riders still isn't that fun as a Riders game. This is still incredible and one of the best leaps forward we've had for a Sonic game that's been stranded on a way to play it that people just don't find very fun. Free Riders used to be pretty much the bottom of the barrel of Sonic games for me, but this patch made it a little bit better, and I can actually kind of almost enjoy it, even though the levels are still a bit bland. And the story sucks, and so does the voice direction. Yeah, I'm starting to think this game wasn't really that good. But Sonic Riders DX, on the other hand, is one of the most fun Sonic racing games we've ever had. It's on par and might even surpass Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed for me. It takes Sonic Riders and makes it more fun to grasp while making it more enjoyable to play with added features. From new menus and a new aesthetic, Riders DX really changed up the way Riders feels, and it's for the better. The randomized music on each stage helps make them feel a bit more unique. The mod also adds new customization and unique playable characters to the series that have never been added before, making this one of the best Sonic experiences. I fully recommend this game to anyone that hasn't tried it out, and there's even a competitive scene if you want to take it a bit further, something that really wasn't feasible with the original game. It's really cool to see that even if Sega isn't supporting the Riders series, fans are, and they're continuing to make these fan-made projects to make these games better, and to make some new experiences out of them. I hope this continues in the future, and maybe even Sega will follow suit. And if there's any more Sonic fan game spin-offs you want me to take a look at in a future video on this topic, please just let me know down below. But for now, that's it for me, Daviron, signing off. And a thank you to all of our members shown on screen. If you want to become a member, just click the join button below.